when we don't see it working, when we see us like reaching out our hands to certain people or extending ourselves to show this person we're not like how you kind of initially see us, and then when we see that person is slap our hands metaphysically, like kind of just not take the offer of trying to see us in the light that we're trying to express ourselves, then that's when it can really impact us, and we have a really a negative. We end up having annotations on that person. We become wanting to be negative to that person, or we become wanting to express the same energy that person gives to us. That's why Libras are harmonious people in general. But the moment you share a lot of negative energy towards a person that they love or a person that they're close to, or even them, they'll do it faster for someone that they're close to, but even them for that matter. And then they see you as an uncompromising person, like after they didn't already reach their hands out and they see that you just slapped it down, the honorable thing to a Libra is to fuck you up after that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why Libras play out that trait, because of Venus. And then Tauruses, a lot of times, they come to the practical conclusion that they may need to fuck you up. They may think that it's not even in reality if I don't fuck you up, because you won't even learn unless I physically fuck you up. And that's how Tauruses come do their dark side of Venus. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, Venus in the 10th house in general. You know what I'm saying? Venus, is going to bring a love and appreciation and value to how you see yourself and how you want to be portrayed. And especially in your career, too. It's going to make you creative. It's going to make you like to apply art to anything that you do. It's going to make you want to value what you do. But a lot of times, see, what Venus could play out, see, it's the planet of pleasures also. So anytime you pleasure something too much, it can cause overindulging. And overindulging is never good, because you're supposed to do everything in moderation. So you can overindulge into what you only want to do, or only how you want to be seen, or only how you think people see you, to the point that you're not actually applying yourself to make any change, any constructive change. And that could develop bad habits. Now, when let's talk about Mars. Now, Mars in the 10th house. Now, Mars loves to be here. This is like a kid at Disneyland. You know what I'm saying? This is like a party pooper that could go to a party 5 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Now, right here, Mars's intentions. Mars is exalted in the 10th house. Mars's intentions, how you intend to do things, your motives. You know what I'm saying? So it's behind the scenes. It's your intentions, your passions, your desires, your motivations, your motives. So it carries out the duties and obligations of the sun. So the sun is how you see things and how you act, your basic actions. And Mars is how it get carried out, your intentions and how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Your intentions. So right here, when we got Mars in the 10th house, a lot of times your intentions is to be solidifying yourself and gaining stability in your life, and having to be known for something, having a passion to be known for something. And a lot of times, whatever your passion is, that's what you're going to be known for. So Mars actually can be known for what it already likes to do. Mars is the passion planet. So right here, when it jumps into the social status house, what? I get to be known for what I can do? What? I'm good at basketball. You mean to tell me I can get paid for playing basketball? What? I know how to read real good. You mean to tell me I can be a librarian? What? I know how to. I know real good. I know about pills and vitamins real good. You mean to tell me I could be a doctor? What? You know what I'm saying? That's Mars in the 10th house right there. You see what I'm saying? Mars is gonna go out there and, well, I get to be known for what I can do, and I already like to just go out there and do it. That's intentions. Things you intend to do. And when Mars comes into the 10th house, you are known for the things you intend to do. You are known for your passions. And that's a good thing to be known by. So Mars is having a blast right here. Now, like I said, everything could flip to the dark. Your dumb ass is on Earth. Your dumb ass can't fly in orbit and go see what's going on and go see what the fuck behind Mars look like. if it ain't orbited around to your section of being able to see that side. You didn't see that side when it was on that side, so it's not dark once it then rotated and came to the light, so you can see it. So you're not even seeing the dark aspect and how it looked from a non-light on perspective. So for an example, Mars can get really real shitty here because it can become real selfish. It can not want to help nobody else goals. It can not want to apply itself. It can only want to do what it wants to do. And it could be hungry. Now that's a bad thing, but you got a lot of people out here say that's excellent for business, because this business could just go shit on everybody else's business and not even care. Fire everybody and hire everybody new every time they elevate. Not even care about the people's lives that they had hired there. You know what I'm saying? They just do all kind of shit. With the dark side of Mars in the 10th house can do all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And it can become evil. Because, you know what I'm saying, when it's not being able to do what it wants to do, as far as get from point A to point B, anytime you see a road blockage or obstacle, it don't go around. It don't compromise to go with. It don't go around, and it don't analyze. It forces itself through. You know what I'm saying? Whether it stings it way through, or ram it way through. But however Mars, because that's the two ways Mars is going to do it. So however Mars is going to do it, it's going to go through it. It's not going to go around. Now we know when it sting, we know that it's something that's there, and you ain't know it was going to sting your ass till you got too close and got stung. But we know when it ram it, you might can see the ram from miles away. But the energy might be just so powerful, you might not be able to stop it anyway. So it's like forms of Mars representations that gets filtered through Scorpios and Aries at times. But you get what I'm trying to say here. You know what I'm saying? Each planet does it. Jupiter with Pisces and Sagittarius does it. You know what I'm saying? Venus with Taurus and Libra, as I explained earlier, how they carry out their love on the dark side sometimes. But yeah, every planet does it. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you know, Mars could get super aggressive right here, to the point that, yeah, it's super goal orientated, but to the point that nobody wants to be around it. And then you like super cutthroat, super business, not feelings involved. Like, I mean no pleasure is involved, to the point that you may not even care about pleasure in general. You may have to work on pleasuring yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's the dark side of it. But you know, the good side of it, you can stay on stay on task, and you don't feel like it's actually work when you're staying on task. Now let's get to Jupiter. Jupiter in the 10th house. Now Jupiter is wisdom. Anywhere Jupiter is at is going to bring wisdom. It's going to bring knowledge. It's going to bring experience. It's going to bring and it's going to bring time. Basically, because you need time to experience, so you're going to be able to learn or teach within these times. So right here with Jupiter, now I have my Jupiter conjunct my 9th and my 10th house, so I can speak on this also. So with Jupiter in the 10th house, you're going to want to take what you know, your knowledge, your wisdom. You're going to be seen by having a lot of knowledge and wisdom. This is how you're going to be seen. You're going to be seen like an authority figure to a certain degree. Like, not an authority figure like a parent or something like that, but it can play out like that sometimes though. But just, you're going to carry off this energy that people, that you just have a little bit more sense than others. Like, even to the point that your parents feel like they need to listen to you if you express yourself in that matter. You know what I'm saying? Or you could become a super student to the point that you're learning, and people are willing to extend what they know to you because they know that you're willing to learn. And see, where there's a student, there's a teacher, and where there's a teacher, there's a student. So you end up diving into a bunch of philosophies and a bunch of learning and a bunch of educational things, and be able to create some type of stability in your life based upon it. When it comes to there. And with Jupiter in the 10th house, this is going to make a person want to take the things that they know, take the things that they've been through, take the things that they experienced, and gain some type of stability in their life amongst it. Or see how they can make it work for them. Make what they know work for them in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? And this is how they're going to be seen. And this is how their social network, social networking is going to be seen, and things of that nature. It's always going to have some sense of wisdom in there, some sense of knowledge, some sense of trying to learn, or some sense of teaching in that way, shape, or form. And then experiences a lot of now. Also with Jupiter in the 10th house, you're going to experience a lot of other social things when it comes to, like, how can I break this down? All right, you know how people are seen. Like, all right, let's take politics. Let's take politics. Now, people see politics in general as a big dumb thing, right? But say you got someone in politics who's very smart, have a lot of knowledge, have a lot of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, this person has a Jupiter in the 10th house, and they're able to tie the broad perspective, other people's viewpoints. They're able to tie a broad experience type knowledge realm to a very wisdom type preachy like energy to their presentation, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, to whatever they're trying to convince people, or whatever they're trying to teach people, or however they're trying to express how they want to be seen. It's always going to have some type of, and I don't even want to use preachy, but some type of, oh, we should listen to this person. This person seems like they know what they talking about type of energy. You know what I'm saying? So Jupiter, it could be a person who's the dumbest person in the world. If they got Jupiter in the 10th house, you're going to be seen like, oh, this person know what they're doing, or they know something that we don't know. It's like it's always going to be sense of that, because Jupiter brings wisdom and knowledge and experience. So you may have drugged a bunch of experiences in the past life, because Jupiter could do that also, but it's more gas-like. Jupiter is more idea-like, you know what I'm saying, with the fluid. It's like a misty. So you can have drawn a bunch of ideas from a past life and draw it here when you had Jupiter in the 10th house. And it just makes you have a lot of wisdom and knowledge on how you're socially seen, or how others are socially seen, and how you may appear to be. So you may not care how people see you, but if people do see you in a certain way, you always feel the need to put some type of wisdom out there, or some type of metaphor out there. For an example, say like you're on Facebook, right? You got Jupiter in the 10th house, and you're on Facebook, and you know someone is being subliminal towards you, or something like that, or being negative, or something like that, or you just see a bunch of posts that you don't like, and you just like, why people are even thinking about these type of things. Instead of you making a post on Facebook about how you hate Facebook, you come up with some type of philosophical meaning, or it could be Instagram, anything. You come up with some type of, or you may get a meme, a post or something, and post something that when people see it, they can be offended to themselves that they was writing so much stupid stuff up on social media that day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're not offending someone, you're just posting up like a sensical meaning that has someone posting up a bunch of stupid shit to have them look at themselves like, damn, what I was posting was stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's like that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not even, see, with Jupiter in the 10th house, it's not even really physical. You know what I'm saying? You have to draw it to physical. And the 10th house is a very physical house. So a lot of times, anytime a non-physical planet comes into a physical house, it can kind of hurt. It can hurt in a lot of ways, but it can help in a lot of ways. Now, let's talk about Saturn. Now, Saturn loves to be here. You know what I'm saying? Saturn rules this house. So right here, Saturn is how one gains structure in one's life, and it's also where one put boundaries and restrictions and limits. But it's also where one is going to experience boundaries and restrictions and limits. So right here, what happens when Saturn comes into the 10th house? Right here, you may not give a fuck about how people see you, because at the end of the day, you're going to stay on task to attack your goal and reach to how you see yourself. So if you see yourself in that house with Saturn in the 10th house, you don't give a fuck what house you're in at the moment. You don't give a fuck how people look at the house you're in at the moment. You just know that you actually gonna get that fucking house. You gonna get. Then what people gonna say? And then at that point, you still don't give a fuck about what they saying. And then at that point, you already have the energy of people saying positive things about you. because you already don't give a fuck about what they're saying in general because of how you carrying yourself. You carrying yourself like you're on protocol anyway. See, that's what Saturn loves to be here. It's home here. So a lot of times it may choose to do it. A lot of times it may choose not to do it. Now, Saturn is going to put boundaries and restrictions and limits on a lot of partying right here. A lot of unnecessary things to do. Like, for an example, if a person want to get up and just do stuff just because they feel like they want to do it on the spur of the moment, or just because they feel like it should be a part of their day because they should do this, the Saturn in the 10th house person is gonna think practical. It's gonna be like, well, I don't necessarily, this doesn't necessarily isn't making sense right now. It's not even practical to do that right now. What's the sense out of it? What we gonna get out of it? Or what's the actual reasoning behind it besides you just want to do it just to do it? Like, is we're gonna be able to get something out of it? Or, you know what I'm saying? I know it's very cold here though, but like Saturn needs to be that way in the 10th house. You don't need Saturn somewhere, even though it's a gift and curse to all placements, but just for an example, you don't need Saturn in the 4th house because you don't need to be cold and reserved when it comes to your emotions and feelings. You don't need Saturn. You don't need Saturn in the first house because you don't need to be cold and reserved when it comes to your personality and a lot of your personal issues. You don't need Saturn. Saturn it's exalted in the 7th house because you could be cold and reserved when it comes to relationships amongst people, places, and things. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times Saturn is going to gain structure in a person's life. And if gaining structure in a person's life, that's like being in the 7th house. It could gain structure in their life by relating to people and being with someone else, and at the same time be cold and reserved. You know what I'm saying? So they can still be themselves, and they feel like they themselves with someone else. So they could be a complete bond with someone else. Like Saturn loves that when they could become one with someone. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Saturn in the 10th house right here, a lot of times it comes to being cold and reserved, but and only wanting to stick to task. And that's what actually you need to do. You know what I'm saying? That's where Saturn needs to be at. But it's a gift and a curse of everything, so it don't matter where your Saturn at. But for the most part, Saturn loves to be here because it gets to be cold and reserved when it comes to being at work, or when it comes to your career. Like you don't have to, you may have known someone for like 5 years because you worked with them that long, but if you need to let them go, or if you need to leave that job, you're not going to hold that much emotional impact from it because you know that it was practical. It's the practical thing was that was just a job. So there's no point of connecting my emotional self to this person to the point that I feel depressed because I can't see this person no more because I didn't knew this person for 5-6 years of my life. And you know what I'm saying? You don't need to see a lot of other placements are tied things like that to certain things. These are a lot of people who may go to jail, right? They may go to jail and meet somebody in jail, and then just think that this they person, that's they nigga. Then when they get out of jail and shit, they end up wanting to meet up with this person and shit like that. Then this person, you don't even really know this person outside of jail. This person end up getting you killed, getting you robbed for everything. And that's because you probably had Saturn in the 4th house or something like that, or Saturn in the 6th house, or you know what I'm saying, or Saturn in the 3rd house. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, with Saturn in the 10th house, you're going to know how to put boundaries and restrictions and limits on those kind of relationships. When it comes to how you're seen, people, you're already known for that. You're already seen like that. You're already seen as a person of, okay, this is a person I work with, or this is a person for in the meantime now. But I know if this person was to get up and leave tomorrow, I mean, I don't know their personal life like that, so I can't be that deeply invested into this person to the point I want to know their whereabouts and stuff like that. Like, and that's just a scenario that I'm trying to express. But for the most part, Saturn in the 10th house, it does wonders because you're gonna witness a lot of boundaries and restrictions and limits when it comes to the social arena. Also, though, when it comes to how you think you're seen, you might not know how people see you. You know what I'm saying? And then it may even come to a point that it may separate a lot of friends from you too, because people don't know how to take you, or they don't know how to see you. So you find yourself not knowing how to be that relatable. But see, that's good for the society we in right now, because you know how to take less time with the fuck shit and the bullshit, the more people you know, the more bullshit you're going to be into. The smaller your circle is, the more you're going to be able to understand that the better life end up being, the less problems and drama you have to go through. And Saturn and the 10th house people know this more than any other placement. Because they putting boundaries and restrictions and limits on the right things subconsciously. So a lot of times Saturn and the 10th house people may even feel like sometimes, because remember, the dark side may come to the light. But Saturn being a dark planet in general is good in the dark. So that's a good thing. So things that's maybe in the light that seem pleasant down here may not be good for you. That's why they say that don't be careful what you ask for, because you just may get it and you might not have wanted it. That's why they say that. A lot of that energy is tied to the Saturn energy. You know what I'm saying? That's what Saturn be trying to teach you. Teach your ass. Saturn don't reflect the sunlight. Saturn don't give a fuck about what you can do, how you can fucking express yourself. What did you get from it? Is it practical or not? Do it make sense? That's what Saturn give a fuck about. You see what I'm saying? So, with Saturn being in the 10th house, that's when it evolves with the social status. It only cares about a social status and that. Like, okay, yeah, this person got all this talent, but what is this person doing with it? Is this person taking the practical precautions or taking the practical procedures in order for them to be known for what they can do? If not, it's bullshit. I don't even want to hear about they fantasy stories. Boom, that's a Saturn and 10th house person. So you see how just the way you are a lot of times may separate friends. But just the way you are a lot of times may get you from point A to point B. See what I'm saying? Now, let's go to the outer planets. The further away the planets, the lesser the description is. Now, when we get to Uranus, Uranus is change, rebellion, but it's also originality and uniqueness. So when that comes into the 10th house, what happens here is, when it comes to how you're seen, you're going to be seen as unusual. And you like to see, and you're going to be into unusual things. People gonna like, you're gonna like the way you carry yourself may be very unique, but it's like anytime something is unique and original, you can't have uniqueness and originality without change and rebellion. Because anytime something is being unique and original, obviously it's changing something or rebelling against something that's already there. So you see what I'm saying? It's a gift and a curse when it comes to that. And this is why a lot of Aquariuses may play out this gift and a curse a lot of times. Because it's like, yeah, I got my own way of thinking, so I'm unique. But a lot of times, within that process, you done had a lot of conversations of opposing something, or a lot of actions of rebelling against certain things because everybody doing this, now I'm gonna do this. Or you didn't went through a lot of fears of realities of trying to change something. You know what I'm saying? To the point that that's what made you unique and original, but that also what created changes and rebellious times in your life. You see what I'm saying? So when we got Uranus in the 10th house, it brings that into your social status, how you're seen. So a lot of times your careers be unusual, your careers be unique. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times it has to change something, or it has to rebel against something else, and you have, depending on the person, depending on who you are. You know what I'm saying? You have to be strong enough to go through with the changes, and you have to be a rebellious soul at heart in order to see the promised land. Because if you're a person that's going to get scared in the middle of the war and just flee and go back to what feel comfortable, you're not going to have that. You're not going to be able to see all the way through on what you actually can get out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on the person and the other planetary alignments, if they can handle this or not. But Uranus in the 10th house in general, that's what's going to happen to you. And that's a little bit what kind of pieces of energies that you may be receiving. Now, when we go to Neptune, Neptune is dreams, illusions, creativity, and imagination. This is also four things that can't go without each other. Because you can have creativity and imagination, right? But a lot of times that take dreams and illusions. So without dreams and illusions, you can't have creativity and imagination. You know what I'm saying? You can't. But if you dive too much into your imagination, too much into your creativity, people will start thinking you living in an illusion. People will start thinking you living in a dream world. Shit, you may even daydream throughout the day. because you're too busy thinking of your creativity and your imagination. So you see what I'm saying? This is why a lot of Pisces may play this out. But see, I'm beginning into a lot of other shit. Let's just talk about basically Neptune being in the 10th house. So you're going to bring a lot of imagination, a lot of creativity when it comes to how you're seen, how you see others, how you like to get from point A to point B. A lot of things that you like to do. As far as your careers, a lot of your careers, you don't even want to be in a career if it don't got nothing to do with your imagination and your creativity. Now, a lot of times these people become hippies though, because it's like that's not reality. Like Jupiter is not a physical planet. So in the 10th house, it's grasping to try to make all these things that it see in this realm that it live in physical, but the 10th house is the physical house. So the 10th house can't actually grab none of these things. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times these people can be in an illusion of how they see themselves or how they think others may see them, to the point that they may never accomplish their goals. But then you have, depending on other planetary alignments and stuff like that, the people who are accomplishing their goals, they got a lot of creativity behind how they do their thing. They got a lot of creativity behind it, a lot of imagination behind it, and if you know how to balance out, or you got other planetary alignments, or you have Saturn trining here, or actually opposing here, that's going to help you balance out how to not dive too deep into an illusion and not dream too much, to the point that you can jump rope and balance it out to the point that they go hand in hand and you can manifest it into reality in the right way. You know what I'm saying? But with Neptune here, you're going to have a lot of imagination. You may even see yourself as a character, see yourself as a fantasy-like hero, or see yourself as someone socially. You may even be into a lot of fantasy-like things due to social media. People may see a lot of creative things on your page and stuff like that, and arts and spirituality and stuff of that nature. Now, when we talk about Pluto is deep transformation, deep desires, you know what I'm saying, deep willpower, deep intentions, how you intend to do as a whole, as a person, to rise above or to go lower. It's your choice. Now with Pluto in the 10th house, right here. Now wherever Pluto at, it brings down. So Pluto in the 10th house, it brings how you think you're seen, or how you see people, or how you reach your goals, and it brings it in the dark realm. So now you're seeing yourself negative. You're seeing other people negative. You think other people's status, other people who getting a lot of popularity or something like that, you see something negative about it. You think this person is doing something negative. You think the people who are giving this person attention is negative or got something against you. And then you're going to deal with a lot of control issues also, because you're going to want to control how you are seen. You're going to want to control how other people see other people. You think you can control how you may be just a person in your friend group who you think you could control how everyone in the group look at this person in the group. Like, you got your friend, you got your girl looking at you like, girl, how you looking at me like, how you gonna tell me how to look at her? She's my friend too. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you amongst your niggas and shit like that. Like, come on, man. You can't do that. But with Pluto in the 10th house, you would try. Especially people who are, now this is good for business, because you're going to be super cutthroat. Super cutthroat when it comes to business, because you're going to be power, greed, like, and this is like, you're not even going to be comfortable with position 2. You know what I'm saying? And this is what Pluto hate from the sun. Because the sun a lot of times always get position 1 subconsciously, but Pluto like to work to get that position, and doesn't even like to be in that position unless it could be known for, like, look, I transformed myself to get this position, so I deserve this position. So when they see the sun getting a position just for the sun being expressive and not even really having a talent, but just being so relatable, being expressive, this is what makes Pluto want to sting the sun. You know what I'm saying? And make the sun sit his ass down and really put the actual work and effort into showing you the actual procedure you need to take in order to actually get the job done, and not care about the ego or the attention from what you do. And a lot of times that's it's like control. Like, I control their feelings, where the sun likes to be appreciated. Pluto don't care about being appreciated, but when it's not getting appreciated, it wants to control how you appreciate it. See what I'm saying? The sun will take all appreciations. Pluto wants appreciated the way it wants to. So if you can show this person appreciation. But if it's not in a way this Pluto in the 10th house person wants to be appreciated by you, it's still gonna be looked at as negative. Oh, this person on my dick. Oh, this person on my coochie. This person always want to come around me. I don't even like the way this person doing it. Oh, what is this person doing for you? Oh, this person always taking me to the movies, always buying me shit. You ever met a person like that? Damn, what the fuck is wrong with that? 9 times out of motherfucking 10, that's this Pluto in the 10th house person talking. Don't ever pay them no fucking mind, because the moment that person stopped taking them to the movies, the moment that person stopped doing shit, then they gonna want to get into some mother control issues. You know what I'm saying? Y'all motherfuckers take me. But you know, yeah, man, that's the motherfucking planets in the motherfucking 10th house. You know what I'm saying? We gotta go to the 11th house, then we go into the 12th house, and we're gonna jump into another series, so we just elaborate on a bunch of other fears and realities and goddamn shits. Motherfucker Archangel Uriel, this motherfucker flight boss, bitch. Goddamn air. You know, for sure, flights.